I do like watching YouTube, and one of my favourites is the Gentleman's Motor Racing team. Kevin has built a stage rally prepared Mk2 Mini from an old rallycross racer. Let's find out more. Okay, so in this video we are looking at a 1969 Morris Mini which has been converted into a stage rally car. So this car is owned by Kevin Richardson of the Gentleman's Motor Racing team. Now Kevin bought it from a chap who used to autocross it back in the 1970s. Kevin then gave it a refresh and used it at his local car club for forward-only auto tests. Eventually it became a sealed surface only car, and thanks to the backing from Dutch Speed, it managed to be quite successful. However, due to extensive modifications and being very out of date for any type of modern type of motorsport in speed events, it got put into storage. So the plan was then to give it yet another refresh and rebuild it to current Motorsport UK standards for stage rallying. Kevin has an extensive playlist following this build, and I would highly recommend that you go over to his channel, a link will be in the description, and watch how this project has developed. So Kevin gave himself the deadline of the Castle Combe Rally Bay 2021. So he was able to complete the build ahead of that deadline that he had set for himself and got the car to the event, and has since competed in a number of events since. Kevin kindly agreed to give us a walk around of the completed car, so let's run the VT and let him show us his awesome Rally Mini.
Hello, my name's Kevin. I'm from the Gentleman's Motor Racing team. We are at Sandown Airport on the Isle of Wight with the West Country Mini Owners Club. They're here for the Isle of Wight adventure. It's brilliant. Minis, helicopters, planes, what's not to like? And I've been asked if I'd give you a tour of our 1969 classic Rally Mini. It's a stage Rally Mini. This was actually an ex-Rally Cross Mini, so it's been modified quite a bit to make it meet all the regulations so I can go stage rallying with my mates. Now the first thing is, it has to have a roll cage. So in here is a safety devices 16-point roll cage. It's very heavy, but hopefully very safe. It's got pickup points on things like the front screens, the B pillar I think it's called, even down here on the door bars, they're actually bolted into the cross member. There's a harness bar in the back. One of the things people often say to me, they go, wow, this must be a really fast Mini, and the answer is no, it's not, because it's got so much additional stuff in it to meet the regulations. It makes it very, very heavy. So yes, it might have a go faster engine, but it's not going to be as fast as a normal road going Mini with a fast, engine. Seats, so we have to have certain regulation seats. They have to meet, say, the specifications for stage rallying, but they've also have dates on them. Each seat has a thing with a hologram to make sure it's correct. It also has an expiry date on it. Now these seats expire, I can't see because I've got my glasses on, whenever. Go on, Kev. Everybody wants to know the date. 2026. So believe it or not, we have to change these seats in 2026. Same thing with the harnesses. So you can't just have your 3-point, go faster harnesses. These are 6-point harnesses. Again, they've got to meet the regulations, and they have an expiry date. These expire, you can see it, 2026 as well. That's going to be expensive for you, isn't it? So yeah, that's basically where you sit, which is great. I'd just like to thank the Navigator seat sponsors. There we go. Honestly, genuinely appreciate all the help that's helped fund this Mini. That's one of the interesting things about this Mini. It's basically sponsored via crowdfunding, and so everyone has really helped to make our dreams come true and rally a classic Mini. So while we're looking at our fire extinguisher sponsors, let's look at the fire extinguisher. So we've got to have a, I think that's a 2-litre handheld, got to have one of those. And it's also got to have a plumbed in fire extinguisher. So all around the car, there are these little nozzles, all in strategically positioned places. And the fire extinguisher is down there on the back seat. And to activate the fire extinguisher, you pull on a cable. There's a cable there for us, and there's a cable on the scuttle panel for marshals or whoever comes to the car while the car is on fire. We've also got to have cutout for the electric. That's exactly the same thing. It's got a cable, so we can turn the vehicle off inside, and the marshals can turn it off at the outside as well. Navigator seat is very important because they're the ones that basically tell us where to go. These are our notes from the last stage rally we did, which was a gravel rally, and we haven't cleaned the car since. We thought it'd be really cool to have it here at the show in its complete dirtiness. To make servicing much easier for electrics, all the fuses and relays are just here in front of us. Oh, fire stick. Don't know if you know about these. These are all the rage nowadays. They're a bit like, imagine like a marine handheld flare, you know. But instead of starting fires, it actually put fires out. It starves whatever you pointed at of oxygen, and that's a nice bit of kit to have. The battery has been located on the back seat, down there. Still running 10-inch wheels, just because. The rules for the build say that we are not allowed to run much glass fibre or carbon fibre, so we've got a glass fibre boot, we've got a glass fibre bonnet, and that's it. All the other panels have to be steel. As you can see in the back, fuel tank. In there is a rollover valve, so this is the vent. If we ever do put the car on its roof, to make sure that all the fuel doesn't empty out onto the floor, there's a little valve in there, so as soon as you go over 90 degrees, that shuts the fuel supply off. Spare tools, just in case we break down on stage. And then we've got a pre-filter, pump, fuel filter and regulator. And everything's done with the Teflon type hoses. GoPros, absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere, because we like to record what we do. Thank you very much to our intercom sponsors. Those kind people have helped fund the intercom up here and our practice headsets. Do you know what? We used our practice headsets for the first time properly coming to this show. What a difference that makes. Unbelievable. Such kind people, thank you. These I made myself, and they are actually just templates. So I thought I need to make them, and these are old IKEA shelves. I bent them up to how I wanted, and the idea was I was going to reproduce them in aluminium, but you know the phrase, there's nothing more permanent than a temporary repair that works. So they work, they're staying there. Oh. Adjustable brake bias. Must admit I haven't really used it, but when you're on tarmac, obviously as soon as you're in wet conditions, you need to make sure that the balance of the brake is just right. But winter time, we just may use that. Oh, safety kit. We've all got to have a high-vis vest for when we break down. We've got to have a first aid kit, and we've got to have a spill kit. This is a recent addition. It's just a red bum bag, and in there we've got a little bottle of water, a couple of rain ponchos, and like a little energy bar, because you know if you do break down on stage, you're not often allowed to stay in your car. You've got to go to the side of the stage, and if that happens, you kind of want something to, you know, not occupy yourself but keep you safe until the next time. Everything is on magnets, all our race numbers, all our sponsorships. The reason for that is multiple. There are certain events that we would like to enter where you're actually not allowed to have any sponsorship on your car, believe it or not. Targa rallies is one of those. And the other one is if we damage the bodywork, or you know, we need to respray it, be ashamed to have to make up new stickers every time that we do that. So I can just take the stickers off, do the repairs, put it back together again. Here's another safety thing. We've got to have a regulation triangle. So just like you would on a motorway, that triangle's got to be back at least 100 meters from the incident. There you go, that's a nice view of the navigator sticker. Navigator's office, look, with all the bits of paperwork, spare batteries for the intercom. Oh, interesting fact, the centre binnacle on there, you'll notice, may look a bit strange, and the reason is it's upside down. And the reason I had to put it upside down is because A, we're running a huge airbox because of the Weber, and B, because of the centre roll bar mount, it was never going to fit anyway. And all of this instrument, you have to be able to reach basically every switch while you're strapped into your harness. And in a classic Mini, that's actually quite a hard thing to achieve, and that's why we've got like bits of rubber hose on these switches. Let's have a look under the bonnet, shall we? Everyone wants to look under the bonnet. So there you go, look, there's our pull cables. That one, you really don't want to pull that one unless you have to. And so there's actually a safety R clip on the fire extinguisher to stop that from happening. It's very important that that R clip is removed before you go rallying. So this is the engine is actually an old Metro turbo engine, and then it was rebuilt. It's got a Swift Tune head on it. It's got a Quaife diff in it, you know, the ATB diff, light and flywheel, all that sort of stuff. I didn't build it, a mate of mine built it, and then he moved on to another project to sold it to me, which was perfect timing because I needed an engine for this. Here we go, look, so here's all the fire extinguisher points, kind of pointing them where I really wanted. There has to be 4 inside the car, there has to be 4 outside the car. It's got the Swift Tune programmable distributor in there. Horns, believe it or not, when you go stage rallying, you've got to have certain regulation horns. You can't just have any old horn. They have to be two-tone and meet the certain specs. Now our next rally is a nighttime stage. We haven't done a nighttime stage yet. It's going to be at the Goodwood motor racing track. It's the South Down stages, which means we have to run spotlights. And I've got a feeling that maybe our alternator's just not going to be able to put out enough power for us to run those spotlights during the rally stages. So I've just bought from Mini Sport over there. Thank you very much for coming to the show. I've just bought an upgraded alternator. I think it's 75 amp, I think it is, something like that. And that will be our next event. Check out our trophies. Not only did we win our class, we also got the Clubman trophy. And we thought we'd display it at the show, which is just amazing. So there you go. There's a quick insight into our Stage Rally Mini. If you want to help and support us in any way, come and check out our YouTube channel. Lots of ways you can do it. And I don't know how to finish it because it's not my video. I'll see you next time. Ta for now.
So yeah, just have to give a big shout out there to Kevin and to thank him for giving us the walk around of his Mini. So like I said, I was also able to attend the rally day at Castle Combe myself last year to meet Kevin. We have been corresponding back and forth by WhatsApp and by Instagram messaging and Facebook and so on. And yes, it was really, really great to actually put a face to the name as well. But on top of that, Kevin also kindly gave me a few laps of Castle Combe on stage in the passenger seat. That, if you've seen already in the video there, you'll see Team Ballylock Classics name is actually on the seat. So we partially sponsor the seat, which has also been, it's been great to give a little bit back out there as well. So yeah, thanks very much to Kevin for the spin around the circuit. So I'll put a few clips just of that up on the screen here now. thanks very much again, everyone, for watching. And yeah, we will see you in a future video. So, ta-ta for now.